Hello everyone, my name is Jennifer and welcome to Best Kept Plans. Today's video is going to be a plan with me for the week of August 22nd through the 28th, 2022 in my B5 Art Journal of notebook. If you're interested in seeing that, please stick around. For this week's spread, I'm going to be using this triangle stamp, these jellyfish stamps from Altenew, these letter stamps, these quotes from Ink Road Stamps, this set from Everyday Explorers Co., these numbers from Heidi Swap. I'm going to start out with my jellyfish stamps. The idea that I had for this was to basically stamp the jellyfish into a triangle so that they were kind of contained within a triangle, and then utilize the smaller triangles with solid color to kind of create clusters. And so I'm starting out with the largest of the stamps in this set, and I'm using the lightest color ink. So that's the Speckled Egg Distress Oxide, and I'm just stamping that down. I kind of was having a hard time at first because there's a little bit of a dip in the paper under the stamp, and so it can kind of make it a little difficult to fully get that ink on there, but if you press down hard enough, you certainly can. So I'm doing all of the different layers that are necessary for this jellyfish stamp. It's 3 different colors. So on top of the speckled egg, I'm utilizing broken china, and then I'm utilizing a color called, I think, faded jeans or faded denim, and then I'm using black ink on top to do the outline. And now I'm taking the smaller of the jellyfish stamps, and I'm trying to figure out how to position it inside that triangle as well. Again, using these same three Distress Oxide colors, and layering them all on top of each other to create more of like a dimension to the jellyfish. Once I have this final black outline stamp put down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically pick up that stencil, and you'll see that those jellyfish are kind of contained within a triangular shape. Now, it's not a full triangle because some of the corners or some of the areas within the triangle I didn't actually have a stamp down for. So I do think that the shape of the triangle gets a little bit lost, and I did contemplate actually going in with like a black marker, black pen, and like doing an outline around the triangle so that you could see that they were contained within that shape, but I ended up deciding against that. It certainly might be something that I try, at another time if I ever try to do something similar where I'm basically trying to stamp within a shape. But for this spread, I ended up not doing that. I've now moved on to the bottom right of the spread, and I'm basically doing the same thing. I'm using the large triangle stencil. I intentionally kind of put it halfway off the page, and now I'm laying down a large jellyfish and a small one using those same 3 color Distress Oxides, and then black ink for the outline on top. And again, you can't necessarily fully tell that we're dealing with like a triangular shape because of the fact that these stamps don't go to every corner of that triangle, but overall I still do really like the effect that we gained from this. Now I'm just making sure I blot off all the ink on those stamps that I used, and I'm pulling up my stencil, and now I'm going to start adding in some solid colored triangles using the 3 different color inks that I utilized for the jellyfish. So for this one here, I'm using the bright blue color, which is broken china, And then you'll see me, I'm trying to add in an even smaller triangle. I want all of these triangles to kind of overlap each other so that they do form a cluster, but I also don't want to cover up too much of the jellyfish that I put down. So added in this second small triangle with the faded denim color, and then now on the other side I'm going to add in one more triangle, and this one's going to be utilizing the speckled egg color. So you'll see me filling that one in there. And that's all I'm going to do for that cluster on the top left. For the bottom right, I was trying to figure out exactly where it made sense to add in a couple of these solid triangles. So I'm putting one with the speckled egg color down below, and then I pull in the faded denim color to do a smaller triangle, and I actually leave it at that. I don't do a third solid triangle down there. Now that I have all of that deco in play, I am going to start working on kind of the skeleton basically of the spread, with including in my days of the week, the dates for the days of the week. I am utilizing this broken china color to do the dates, and for this week it's the 22nd through the 28th, and I did remember to stamp all of my twos right in the beginning, that way I didn't have to keep pulling on and pulling off this number 2 stamp. So now that I have all my 2's down, I'm going to go in with 3 through 8 and stamp in the second digit for the dates for this week. This is definitely a time-consuming part of the spread, which is, I think, part of why sometimes I just end up saying, you know what, I'm just not even going to bother with the dates. But I do like the way it looks when I take the time to actually put them in. It makes sense. It's just a little time consuming. Of course, I always try to kind of make sure I level everything out, but that can be really difficult to do with stamps, and I like my stamps very close together, which is why I don't just like do the 23 at the same time. So definitely not perfect, but that's okay. Now I'm going in with these script days of the week written out with the complete day. These are from Everyday Explorer Co. That set that I have from Everyday Explorer Co. is genuinely probably like one of my most used sets of stamps. I think that it's like, it comes in so handy. It's kind of like a staple set piece, I feel like. A staple stamp piece. So once I put Wednesday down here, I'll have all of those days of the weekend, which is great. And then I think I'm going to start working more on the top left corner of the spread. I do like to put in what week of the year we're in, and so I'm pulling out my large, thin Heidi Swap number stamps for this and putting down my 3, and you'll see me pulling out a 4 next because it is going to be the 34th week of the year. I decided to put that 3 and 4 very close together, so you'll actually see that the 4 kind of overlaps on top of the 3. I just thought that that looked pretty cool. With the 34 down, I am going to pull out the weekend, I should say, stamp from that Everyday Explorer Co. set. I only put ink on the week part, and then I have been tucking it under the top of the 3. It just fits very nicely in that area. If you'll notice, I'm going straight down with this quote stamp. This is a quote from WandaVision. It's my absolute favorite quote in all of MCU, so I needed to include it here. And I was debating putting another quote down, but I ended up deciding against it. I kind of just want this one quote to be the only one on the page. It's such a beautiful quote, and I think it deserves to just be the only one. Now I'm going in with this acrylograph from Archer and Olive, and I'm just putting in some lines for when I know I have events or meetings going on during the week. Now I'm using my Micron in the 08 size. to just add in some little lines on all of the corners for each day of the week. And if you'll notice, I forgot to put August in that top left box, so I ended up doing that after the fact. Totally forgot about it. I hope you all enjoyed this plan with me. I wanted to make sure I got in some more jellyfish before the end of summer, and I love the way this came out. As always, be safe, everyone. Bye-bye.